Good eve- Good evening, everyone. Welcome to GrayManPrepping. It's time for Survival Saturday, and tonight's topic is, or today's topic, depending where you are, what time zone, is journals, record keeping. So, how's everybody doing today? I just sent grandkids home a little while ago. Then I got one coming back. So as soon as the live stream's over, he's going to be spending the night here tonight. Although he did help me make a unboxing video earlier today, which is just waiting to be uploaded here as soon as this is over as well. Alrighty, so journals and stuff. But before we jump into that, let's say hi to everybody. First one in was Mark at Mad Chick Acres doing the and then he came in again as Chef Tech for a second. Sumi came in. Let's see here. And they're talking back and forth. Walt Rogers came in. And Tammy at Rebel Canners, Kaylin Strain, Aiden Air, Rachel Knight, Daniel Berry Sports Highlight, Joseph Moore. It's the Marshmallow Man gifted 5 memberships. And I have to go over and look to see who got those. So let me chop over on the other side here and scroll back up here. And okay, Happy Mac got one. Shenanigans got one. The Celtic Grandma got one. Glenn at How to Garden got one. And JHC were gifted memberships from It's the Marshmallow Man. And these gifted memberships are good for 30 days. So if you like the members only content, it's 99 cents a month for the basic level. And we got, down in the description, it lists all 3 levels. And there's a video out there on what all exactly get on everything, all levels. All right, let's see here. Everyone's talking there back and forth. Happy Mac is in here. Mother's Garden Club is in here. All right, and cool. All righty, so if you're wondering who's a member, who's not a member, it's really easy to tell in the chat there. Next to their name is a little emoji. If they're in blue, they got a wrench, and after the wrench is the emoji. If they're a channel member, if they're in green, they're a channel member. They'll have the emoji after them as well. And since Lewis did that, let me see. I want to check to see if my system's working here. Yes, it is. So I can go ahead and do that too, because I can give away 5 free ones as well. All right. So Daniel Berry Sports Highlight got one. Joseph Moore got one. Grammy Karen got one. Melinda White and Midnight Blue got one. Ba-boom. What's neat about that is you can go ahead and say, in ahead of time, say accept memberships or gifts or whatever. That way, when a membership is gifted, you're automatically in the queue to get one. All righty. So, there is something back on my page at the top. You got all the different tabs, and it says there'll be a tab once you remember. It'll say, well, actually, you can go the other way too. You just go into playlists, and there's a members only videos playlist in there as well. All right, so let's get on to tonight's topic here, and that is. Oh, I almost forgot for those. Let me drop something down in here. Okay, there's the link for those that want to come up and talk about this sort of thing. Come on, let me pin it. Pin message. There we go. All right. So journals, record keeping. What sort of journals are we talking about? Well, there's all sorts of journals. There's your personal daily journal, and you write down what's going on. It's like a diary. Dear diary, this is what happened today. Billy Joe punched Melissa Sue, so I had to go over and beat the crap out of him. I got detention. He got off scot-free. Yeah, whatever. Uh, but there are other journals in that. There is like a family history journal. Basically, it's a, it's like, they used to have the old family Bibles that they weren't, everything wasn't done daily in there, but significant events were added in there: births, marriages, deaths, um, you know, major injuries type stuff was recorded. It could be recorded in there. But you record everything from a family history standpoint for what is, important, going on in the family, which explains why family members did what they did. Grammy Karen's in here. Woo! And it also helps you recall things that went on to keep your facts straight 20 years down the road. Oh yeah, this is what happened. Oh, all right, yeah. And whereas with some things, the new generations go, what happened? You're like, I'm not sure. I can't remember. Let's pull out the book and take a read. All right. So, and there's several ways to do it in the journals and stuff. You can have it where on it's a bunch of lines. Oh, here's Lewis. Hey, Lewis.
Hey.
And so on the journal, you just write write what it is, and maybe just 5 or 6 lines, and that's it. And so on one page, you may have several days on a page. Some of them come predated. Each page is a day, and I only have a couple pages on it. It's like a couple lines on a page. It's kind of like But you can buy big journals and stuff, and you can put as many lines as you want for that day, and you just start it off with a big, writing big bold whatever, the date, and everyone goes on like that. I worked as a home health aide and personal law. It's what I did beyond what I was required to report. Yeah. And I want to remember about logs and stuff. And so you can do different types of journals about different things, and you can even do them on a computer. Now, the neat thing about a computer is some people type a lot faster than they can write, and a lot of people type more clearly than they can write, especially if they try to write cursive. But the neat thing is, so you can do it if you do it on like a Word doc, or there's some of them that are there's some free programs out there that are set up as journals, and you can insert pictures and everything else in them. Even on a Word doc, you can insert pictures and stuff, and then you just print that page off, hole punch it, stick it in a 3-ring binder, and you just do you explain a lot more, a lot quicker with a picture than you can try and explain everything else, writing it out. And okay, so that's the next one I was going to go to, is a garden journal. I pulled mine out last week, and I was referencing back when I planted certain things last year. And I went to look. I froze. I went to look for it and bring it in here, but I couldn't find it. Now, I should have one of the kids. They like to pick up books and wander around with books, pretending they're reading. So who knows where it's at now. So I just got to find it. Actually, I need to. I should have ordered one already. I just totally spaced and forgot to order another one, saying what I'm planting, where, what I'm growing indoors. Of course, I do so much of it. I do video journals, basically, a lot on my garden, because it's either on the out there on the indoor garden or under the My Garden playlist, and then there's a few that are under I keep under private, just because I want to share it with my wife only, and then there's some I share for channel members. So there are I have a lot of stuff out there on videos, and so long as I keep all my videos backed up here, I got a video log, or a vlog if you prefer. Yeah, yeah. Some of us chicken scratch. It was funny is after I got out of high school, and they were hammering all through high school stuff. You're going to need to know absolute good cursive. I'm going to yell. As soon as I got out, and the first job I got, I was not allowed to use cursive. Everything had to be capital block letters. I was working for the sheriff's department. And then when I went to work for the federal government, everything has to be in capital block letters. And so, yeah. And you tell Mike is in here. Welcome, Mike. It's just on the live streaming. Well, the thing is, I had it. When it's in the box with all the seeds, they don't touch it. But I took it out and I was flipping through it, going through it, and it's like, oh, okay. And I set it down there on the table. Generally, they don't mess with stuff on the dining room table. They did. All right. So let's see here. What else we got here? Is there another picture after this? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, personal journals. Some people keep gratitude journals, therapy journals, travel journals, art journals, garden journals. What else is there here before I get into the big ugly? All right. If you work for any sort of government agency, you should be keeping your own personal journal at work. You should, whether it's the daily log you turn in, or whether it's the daily log plus more details in your own private file, so you can refer back to stuff. Because sometimes, on the daily log, they don't want a ton of details on it. And if it doesn't require a separate report to be written, it can look at, what the heck was this all about? Well, you said it didn't deserve a report. And it's like, oh, I never said that. And you pull up, yeah, you told me it doesn't need a report. You pull up where you documented it in your own journal. And yeah, I was outside. I did take some more antihistamines. I've been out there mowing and weeding and using the clippers and stuff on the grasses and stuff, and the seeds are, oh man. Yeah. All right. Now, since one of the things that precipitated this was, come on, brain, work. Shadow Scout Swede. First name begins with a J. Oh man, I can't think of it. Having a brain fart here, folks. Anyways, he talked about keeping journals and stuff several weeks back and everything, and several weeks, maybe a month now or so. But anyways, I decided, yeah, that's something that needs to be addressed a little bit differently than what he was addressing there, and covering a lot more things as different type journals. There, I wish my Joran, yes, Joran, thank you, Kaylin. I really wish that my grandmother wrote stuff down, but what she usually did when she wanted to decompress, she would knit. So she knitted tons of stuff, but she never, she would tell stories, but she'd never write stuff down. And writing, my dad, dropped out of school in the 8th grade because, hey, middle of the Depression, had to work. He did get his GED. Then he went back and went to trade school, got all sorts of degrees from trade schools, electrician, machinist, engineer, and stuff. But he did not like writing. So there was a lot of information that was lost from stuff that we were told as little kids that wasn't repeated to us as teenagers, or repeated to us in our 20s when we would have listened to it and ran it through our head several times. Nah, it wasn't blankets. She knitted sweaters, a lot of sweaters, scarves, hats, stuff like that. Teresa's in the house. Woohoo! That's okay. She's saying hi to everybody. She can't tag everybody, so she's saying hi. Now, when it comes to recipe, cooking journal is called a cookbook. I got several different things. I got my index card from my grandmother and my mom, index card folding. Then I have their and it's just the last one here. That's the last one. Okay. Then I have the Betty Crocker cookbooks. Several years full of notes, and on the sidebar, this recipe sucks. This is how we changed it to make it better. We substituted this and everything else. And there was a recipe that's been handed down to everybody in the family. Moon over Miami, hey, from the Depression era times, and it's called Mori Mori. And it starts out with a pound of ground beef or ground pork, if that's what you had, or ground turkey, if that's what you had. And the standard noodle for going in there was the extra wide egg noodle. And then tomato sauce, stewed tomatoes chopped up fine added to that. Corn. Trying to remember. And then there's a whole list of the seasonings. Like I said, it's all written down. Depending who's making it, whether or not the olives got tossed in or not, the sliced olives. And then it got topped with, once it was all done, it got topped with cheese. And the one stuff got all cooked, got dumped into a casserole dish, cheesed on top, shoved in the oven for a little bit. And it's called Mori Mori. Because in the beginning, we'll add more of this, we'll add a little more of that, and we'll add some more, Mori Mori. So, excellent. Mark, if your sister had everything scanned and you have a copy, see about creating from the scans, creating a cookbook. Hey, you can always sell it. Or once you get your channel going and you hit 1,000 subscribers and you have your watch hours and you start getting channel members, you can give them a soft copy of the cookbook. Another incentive for people to be a channel member. It's uploaded to forever.com. Cool. But yeah, there is just so much stuff that that we think, we're going to remember that, and the story goes and gets told, and then the story gets misheard, misunderstood. An example is that my dad was absolutely positive that his grandfather was born in 1830, in April of 1830. Now, so my dad's grandfather. My dad's father was born in 1880. My dad was born in 1930. My dad's grandfather, everyone was wearing, after dates stuff got handed down, nothing in writing. And so everything was handed down. We thought we had it. Started doing genealogy, started doing the research and stuff over there in Ireland. Found out, nope. He wasn't born in 1830. He was born in 1838. But they, the legend was that it went on, it's going back 50 years, 50 years, 50 years, and we can't find any record of my dad's grandfather's father. So my great great grandfather. We can't find any records. So the records say something could have burned down. Hey Lee, how's it going? Yeah, Central Texas is flooded. And my sister's over there in Spring, and they were having power was out for her yesterday morning for 7 hours, and it came back on. And they're talking about the thunder and lightning, the wind blowing. They were getting 115-mile-an-hour winds, she said, I believe. I'd have to go back into Facebook and look at it, see what she posted on that. But yeah, it's did she post it on my video? She might have posted it on my thunder and lightning video on Camp Patton Family Compound. She may have commented on it over there. But yeah, and that's the thing, the big flood. See, if everybody remembers it. Oh, I remember last year the big flood, and then 10 years later, what year was that big flood we had? And how much damage did it really do? Yeah. Oh, even a more close to the Mark family legend, which my sister was just swearing up and down and was calling the rest of us liars until I found the paperwork. All right. My mom was married 3 times. The first one died during World War II. Second one she got an annulment from because it was the cheating blankety blank blank. And that one was Louis Angel. Come on, Tim. What's his last name? It's on the tip of my tongue. From Puerto Rico. Anyways, he did not look Puerto Rican. And he was a smooth talker and everything. And so basically my older sister and my older brother are from Louis Angel. And anyways, she got, it was, I think my older brother was like 6 months old when she got the annulment. But several years later, she's out on a location shoot in southern Utah for a John Wayne movie, one of the many shot in Johnson Canyon there. And the rodeo had finished up, the rodeo circuit, and it had the big wrap-up rodeo there at the St. George rodeo grounds. And so the rodeo season was over for my dad. And he, the motion picture star guys came down. As soon as that rodeo was over, we're hiring. My dad said, cool. And in that movie, I know my dad was talking about, I can't remember which movie it is because I didn't write it down, but it's one of the John Wayne movies. And my dad was so, he looked like an Indian. Take off his shirt, you're blinded. Oh my geez, turn off that spotlight. But from here up, he would look like an Indian. And so they had him in one of the blue cavalry type thing, captured shirts and stuff with the beads on it and everything else, and didn't have to put any makeup on him, but they did have to put a wig on him, a long hair wig and stuff. And he was dying a whole bunch. He had different shirts, different things on it with the horses, because he could get a horse and he could get the horse running and roll over like they got shot and everything. And so he did several of those. And as soon as the shoot was over, my step grandfather, Rolly Harper, hired my dad to drive trucks back to California. And so my dad drove the big truck with all the extra supplies in it. And my mom drove the kitchen back. And when he got back to California, Rolly hired him on to do other things and stuff, and found out, oh, you weld, you do this, oh, you do that, oh. And so anyways, Come Christmas, pros, come Christmas 1956. Yeah, anyways, 9 months later, ta-da, I was born. Exactly 9 months afterwards. But my sister is 10 years older than I am. So she was 10 years old going, and so they said, oh yeah, we got married, such and such time. And so in April, they ran down to Mexico, got married. And then then later on, they had to get married in the United States again because there was some question, well, is the Mexican marriage legal anymore at that time? And so they got married again. But they had told that my daughter, their daughter, my sister, that they got married in November of 56. And so they got married at Thanksgiving time down in San Luis Obispo, blah, 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 blah. So I pulled up the Mexican marriage certificate. And then the San Luis Obispo wasn't until the following year when he went to adopt my older brother and sister. That was actually in San Luis Obispo with the date. And I have both those. And she was like, they weren't married when they got, oh, wow. Oh, yeah. My sister was just, it was funny.
So your father was an Indian in a John Wayne movie?
Yes, several times.
I have a one-word question. How?
Mm-hmm. How? How?
Get it?
Because
it's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah, I know. How?
How?
The sun is how. Sun how.
How?
Thanks to the genealogy project, we have records. Cool.
Yeah, my mom notoriously was on genealogy.com. She had a program on her computer, bought her new computer. She had it all moved over. She was technologically disadvantaged. She could never figure out how to pull other family tree parts into the big tree, but they were all saved. Well, my sister now has her computer, and she figured it out. And my sister is all over it. We're related to pretty much half of Newfoundland.
Yeah.
And she went up there last year. Now she's friends with like half the province. And she's on their Facebook internal page. And oh, it's great. She went to all the graveyards up there. Every one of them has like our last name everywhere. And she's taking pictures. Like, it's kind of creepy to take a picture of a gravestone, but these people have been dead, relatives have been dead for, anywhere from 50 to 100 years. And the family's they're all family plots. The families still take care of the plots. They'll go up there with a weed whacker and clean it up. And, she said it's really enlightening and very strange.
Yeah. Back in 73, I graduated in 75. So the summer of 74. The summer of 74, we went to rented a motor home. So me, my brother, my sister and her husband, and 3 of their little kids. I mean, like Daniel and Oliver running around here age, went to Disney World. On the way back, we stopped at several places where the Schwartzes and the Crumbrines and stuff across the United States and went to several of the cemeteries, and we found headstones and took pictures. Of course, that was with the old 126 Instamatic camera.
Mm-hmm.
Click. Yeah. And those pictures are around somewhere. My sister has has more pictures. But interesting thing is on some of that, my mom made My mom had the Minolta big 202 or the 201 can't end of 202, but she had 201 at the time, and she was taking all sorts of 35 millimeter pictures and stuff. Gave all copies of those pictures to her cousins, and they in turn got into genealogy a couple of years later, and they put together several books on the family tree.
Yeah.
And so the one book that was just on the one guy, Hill, of the Hill brothers, that came over prior to the Revolutionary War, who all fought in the Revolutionary War and all survived the Revolutionary War. But then they started doing the other ones, and they got into, I'm not sure how they got into some stuff that they weren't supposed to get into, but they tagged into track and went this way, and then came back and went this way, and confirmed connections to every royal house in Europe. For every royal house in Europe. Once you're tagged in that, you got but they went both ways, following down to kids, and they found it, and they got everything hooked up. So I mean, it's like, and the thing is, though, what's so funny is my mom used to get so mad at my dad sometimes. He's so stubborn. I'm glad I'm not a patent. In the book, on her side of the family, 6 generations back, guess what one of the women's maiden name is?
Patton.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
She was like, "You got to be kidding me!" And then I did some more on that book, which they had done. Actually, I'm like King Olaf of Norway in 639 A.D. That's one of the where one of the lines dead ends at. Which I think that one I remember because that one's easy, that one I've quoted that one off so many times. But the I was going through, I go, oh crud, we got black sheep in here, and she's looking at me like, what do you mean? She didn't read through the whole thing. She got lost reading through some of it. Okay, so we are descendants of Eleanor of Aquitaine. We're related to King Richard? No. The black sheep. John Lackland, a.k.a. Prince John of Robin Hood fame. Then I dig back a little farther. Oh, great. We're related to Constantine.
Oops.
Yes. The one that set up the with the Catholic Church and set up all the meeting of the bishops, and those that didn't agree, he executed. Yeah. So yeah, I got some black, but those are all the journals, records, and everything else, all the family history stuff, any type of records you can keep for your kids, help straighten out your kids. And some of the stuff, if it's family legend, put down, this is family legend, have not been able to verify or disprove or correct. And sometimes you may have a kid that suddenly gets, computer.
Yeah.
And because there's this, what most people don't know is that the LDS Church, or Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, aka the Mormons, went around back in the late 1800s and early 1900s to every church they could get out to and photographed all the records. Several churches burnt down afterwards, and they lost all their records, and the church provided them a book. There you go. Copies of all your records that were burnt. And that stuff is being put into the computer system. All those photographs, all those records, all of that microfiche stuff is all being put into computers, and they're still working on it constantly. And they get the youth to do projects where they go in and they look at the microfiche stuff, and they enter the data and everything on it. They pull all the they're pulling all the microfiche data from the federal census, and they're putting that into the database too. And Ancestry.com and some of the others are getting access to the database. So, they're paying to help pay for it. They pay access to the database to have what's completed so far to encourage to get it going and stuff. And so, yeah, there's so much out there that is, that, oh, we can't find anything. Oh, wait a minute. No, we just finished this block here. So now there's these connections now being made.
Like my sister's a pro photographer, always was from high school. Has a business. Every photo my mom had, and we didn't know how thick the folders were. Yeah. She's now what do they call it? She's an ambassador with Forever.com. She actually has a business where she brings people in and gets all their stuff scanned and gets it cataloged for them. And she's had to buy like 4 or 5 terabytes of space for every single picture. And she keeps bugging me. She's like, please go on there, start scrolling through folders, let me know which folder, and try to tag who you know, what you remember, because there's no names with a lot of them. Some of them have names. And she did both sides of the picture, the photo, because my mom always wrote stuff on the back. I got a picture of my great-grandfather and his brother holding a hand scythe in Newfoundland. I'm like, oh, and it's a great picture. I'm like, I have got to have that picture in the cabin.
Yeah, there's hang on a second. So now is that John Lackland, brother of Richard the Lionheart? Lee? If that is, that's the same John Lackland I'm related to.
Uh-oh. We're all related sooner or later.
Hey, yeah, we're all related. Noah.
Adam, Eve. Pick
Adam.
One. Yeah.
All right. Where did I go before there's something I was going to say and I got distracted on that one. My mom, avid photographer. I mean, she started out as a teenager with one of those little brownies. Got it. Anyways, I constructed a storage shed for her. We called it the Ark. It was 24 feet long, 8 foot wide. It was built to code for a house, but it was just a shed. Had AC in there and everything. On the one wall was just shelves, and half those shelves were shoe boxes turned deepwise on the shelves. And those had the packages that you take stuff down to J.C. Penney's Photo Lab.
The paper envelopes.
Target envelope. You got the big envelope. You got the pictures. You got the other envelope inside with the negatives. And she always got double print, so she would write on the back of the photos, and she'd give out the double prints to whoever was in it. Like I said, so the shelves was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves, and so about 10 foot long, 12 foot of shoe boxes. And one of my nephews and his wife said, can we get that so we can upload it into it wasn't Ancestry. It's the LDS one, the LDS main one for church members to enter stuff into. Hey, Butch. And so they made several trips to our house, and we loaded up their truck full of these photos. And sometimes she not only did she get the free double print, she got a second printing done, and gave because there were so many family members, and she needed to give so many out. And so on the front of the envelope though, she wrote the date, she wrote the year, and then she wrote the date of when the pictures were taken. And then she wrote down on the bottom, she wrote who all was in any of the pictures. And then she she put that stuff there out. And actually, let me see here. Actually, I got something here if I can find it. See if I find it here. Okay. Yeah, we didn't get any of that then. All right, so this picture here. There is my older sister, my older brother, my younger brother, and me. They say squish it, so I squished it. I go, quit squishing it that much. I go, screw it. But yeah. So and so back out here. I'll find some of the other ones here. Pictures my mom took. This is us working on Spook Alley. There's my my brother. There's me. There's one of our good friends, and there's Merlin the Magician, Chris Farr, and this is Madame Leo's seance room. But we have all the stuff. We got Freddy Krueger. We got Merlin again. We got guy playing Jason. And in there, it's Carl Ernstrom. Yes, Carl Ernstrom. And I, Staff Sergeant. There I am. Come on, light up Becky. Well, that's my nephew, John Allen Smith, born on the 4th of July. And this is the after party from our Halloween stuff. These are the type photos. We got hundreds and thousands of photos. She had a photo journal of everything going on. She didn't write it; she photographed it. And that's when I got my my wood badge stuff. But yeah, she photographed everything. And so yeah, those are some of the photos I just pulled up onto my Facebook page. Yeah, 23andMe, no. 23andMe is so screwed up. Family search, yes, family search. There we go. Yeah. So they're slowly loading everything up. I have photos about everybody slowly into family search. They're going to overload family search with all the photos about people. Yeah, one of my cousins, they did 23andMe, and they didn't know that 23andMe did not know that we had the genealogy done. They said, "Oh no, no, it's not. We have it done." He told them, hey, and they're like, "Oh," and they refunded the money to that cousin because they were totally wrong on where we were from. Because my grandmother's maiden name is Schwartz. The Schwartz side came from an area of Germany that was on the border of France, and it switched depending who won the war, which country it was in. So they spoke both French and German. And then the hills, Crumbrines and stuff were from England. And then we had some going over, and we didn't get to the Italians until we were back several centuries. And they said, "Oh, you're prominently Italian." No.
Yeah, I just sent you a photo to Camp Patton Family Compound email.
Okay, it hasn't popped up yet. Give it a minute.
It's a photo, so it'll probably take a minute.
Yeah. Well, sometimes Gmail takes a while.
Oh, you're on Gmail and I'm on iCloud Mail, so there's all kinds of problems there.
Yeah. Okay, there it is.
You can put it up.
Okay, hang on here. Let me do it this way here. I'll put it over this way here. It'll be easier. And there you go.
That's my great grandfather on the left, and his brother, believe it or not, on the right.
Yeah, there's some major age differences in our families too and stuff. Yeah, we do have a photo in the family Bible with a certain tall gentleman with whiskers
Sure, just send it to me.
And several other people, but there's nothing written on it. And we can't figure out, are we related to Lincoln or not? But it's in the family Bible.
I gotta get going. My phone's about to die.
All right. Anything you
All
want
right.
to say quickly?
It's important to have a journal for everything.
Yep. All righty.
All right. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay. Yeah, one of the yeah, and all right, now I'm going to hit the other part of this, the prepping part, or the SHTF. I don't even know the Tawaki part, the end of the world as we know it part of a journal. Actually maybe more relevant to the SHTF side, because SHTF takes 5 years about for the government to be restored. Tawaki takes about 20 years for the government to be restored. Anyways, if things go south and you are documenting every day, and this is what's going on. Somebody killed David Lynch over 2 blocks over. Someone killed Hannibal down the street here. Somebody killed someone over there. It turned out all these were killed by the same group. These are the guys that are in the group going around raiding people's houses, stuff. And you got that documented in a journal, and they come to your house and you get the upper hand. And years later, someone says, "Oh yeah, they killed so and so." It's like, yeah, this is why. It's written down, and you share. And actually, when you have information like that, you share it with people around, so they can write it in their journals. That way, the information is coming from multiple sources. We don't want anybody going south. We're full. But yeah, the disaster event journal or a war journal is something of importance. What is the most famous journal from World War II? Anybody know? Give them about 15 seconds in the side chat to type it in there. But what is the most famous war journal from World War II? Yep, Anne Frank. Ba-boom. Yeah, and Caitlin has a good point too. Not just but also a journal for trading and everything else. Who to trust, who's not trustworthy. A diary of Anne Frank. There we go. Everyone's firing it in there. It's coming in. Yeah. So and you never can tell when. And there are. Okay. I'm trying to. I just thought if I say it in the wrong way, the platform's going to go, "Oh, you're supporting a certain country, and we don't want you to be doing that." All right. There's a certain organization that was going around digging up all the journals they could from World War II, finding them, copying them, and everything else to track down certain criminals who were involved in a mass that they don't want us talking about. And that's how they were able to find so many of these bad guys years later on. So you guys can, if you're good with history, you should know exactly what I'm talking about. And so it was journals, diaries, bank ledgers and stuff like that they got this information and were able to connect the dots. Oh, this guy went down to Argentina. Oh, this guy went down to South Africa. This guy went over to Russia. Why did he go to Russia? He must have been working with. So, anyways, but they followed people around and got them and took care of them. But having proper journals and proper information can not only keep your family history straight, it can keep your family out of the hooskow. Yeah, they have too many breadcrumbs. Exactly. Too many people talking about them. Too many people knew where they went, and they were able to track them down. And Glenn's in the house. Out of the garden. Woohoo! Yeah. So yeah, there's family journals and stuff. Like I say, it can be written down. It can be on the computer. My mom didn't. My mom took pictures. Man, boy, did my mom take pictures. And yes, my wife and I went through and we pulled of the double prints that were still in there. We pulled ones out that we wanted for ourselves, and then we started pulling. Oh, honey, we're getting too many of them. And so we started being a little more judicious on what ones we were pulling out. Kids at certain ages, growing up and stuff. So we say, all right, this is so and so at this age. This is so So like my nieces and nephews, I have them from their birth up till the time till 2000 Christmas 2007. I have photographs that my mom took, every year, so we can identify them. And my one nephew took a bunch of those, and he's sharing. They're making copies of them and sharing them around. And I gave him my I bought a little negative scanner, so you put the negative in there, and it scans it and turns it into a photograph on the computer, not a negative, a photograph. And so that's what they were running the negatives through and emailing pictures out to everybody, soft copy. So they did it. Yeah.
I think that's basically how I journal these days. Everything I do, I just take pictures of it.
Yeah.
So at least in Apple with the iPhone, it stamps the date and even the location if I drill into it.
Yeah. And that's one of the things you document your history, your family history, relatives and stuff. There's if things do go at this rate, when things do go south and things are really nasty, you're gonna need you're going to need to be able to document things that you have to do to survive. Oh. I got a squirrel moment here. I got to do this. Who knows what the top 12 states are to live in?
I don't.
You don't know?
Maine might be one of them.
Yeah, it's one.
Florida, Texas.
No.
Really?
Top 12 states to live in.
Oh, on the New York is a top state. Really?
No. You're missing it. You're missing it.
Gotcha. Yeah, top.
You got it now. The top 12 states. So this is something that Lee's going to want. So he tells people, hey, these are the best states. These are the top 12 states to go live in. Go, stay out of Texas. But what's surprising is how many people pick a bunch of those states as best places to live.
Depends on what you're talking, how you define to live.
Yeah. Anyways, so that's what's I think we beat this down to death good enough. So, and it's come get that time. So let me grab the schedule up here. All right. So Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound. Everything's 8 o'clock Eastern time except for the midnight ride. All right. The topic is favorite things to can.
Yes.
All right. So that's on there. Tuesday back here on GrayManPrepping, Tactical Tuesday. Keep your food cool. Putting two words together there. Keep your food.
Keep your food full.
All right. So I'm going to talk about ways to keep your food that your your canned goods that can be really affected by the heat. Cool. All right. Thursday night is the midnight ride. It's midnight down in Rio, so we're starting at 10 o'clock Eastern. Friday night on the homestead on Camp Patton Family Compound is it's sort of a response live stream to the thing that's making us round again about registering your garden. So we're going to start out talking about that and probably just move on to regular garden stuff after I.
Is that state by state or is that national?
That is federal government. Who's under a branch under the direction of Miss Plastic Face.
Mm.
Yes. All right. So under her thing in her position, that's okay. So next Saturday here. This one may get me in trouble.
What doesn't get you in trouble?
Okay. Basically, the title of it is being put down as "No Limit if it's belt fed," but that comes from the thing of it's not a magazine. It's not magazine limited if it's belt fed. So you can guess what we're going to be talking about next Saturday.
Can I get a belt? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised what you can get belt fed.
I'm sure with a little modification, you could belt feed just about anything.
There are kits out there to make a lot of things belt fed, even down to the lowly 22.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. All right, so that's what's coming up for the next week here. Keep an eye out. I'm going to be posting some videos here. I'm going to try to get some out here on GrayManPrepping, but I'm also doing a bunch of the garden videos over there on Camp Patton Family Compound and so over on Camp Patton Family Compound garden ones and stuff. And yeah, so we should be getting some stuff out here, some box openings, mail calls and stuff that I've got a bunch of stuff I'm going to be sharing with you guys as well. Some of it I'll share over here specifically because of what it is, but so there's going to be stuff both places to look for. Oh yeah, when I saw Brandon Herrera's one on a belt fed one, it was like, oh, I gotta have that.
Yeah, but does that fall into the category of automatic or is it still semi-automatic? Oh, okay, gotcha. Just checking.
But interesting thing, I'm going to deviate here just for some last little trivia tidbit here. There is a certain matched pair of 1022s that were mounted together, one upside down, drum magazines, 250 round drum magazines on it. That's why the one was upside down, so they could mount without doing it. And mounted a thing, and everything else was aftermarket add-on. And do you know what it had on it? It had a hand crank.
Ooh. It just, all that did was keep pulling the triggers.
Yeah. And then somebody took the thing off and they tried to be putting a drill on that it went too fast. But if it were belt fed, yeah, exactly. It's like, think of the possibilities. Belt fed. I got a belt fed pneumatic nailer.
Well, it's actually that's considered a clip, isn't it? Oh wait, no, it depends on which nailer you got.
I got a
the roofing nailer is a belt fed because it's a 50-foot long strap of nails.
Yeah, in a spindle thing, but it's all belt fed. Yeah. I know. Yeah, I think I know what he's saying there. And yes,
there's two things he's saying. Yeah,
You,
Don't forget
yeah.
to register your garden. Yeah, I lost all my, I lost all my plants and all my seeds went down the boat. Yep.
Yep. Exactly. All right, everyone. Stay happy. Stay safe. Add to your preps. Expand your gardens. Try doing. Do some guerrilla gardening in your area. Toss some seeds out in an area that is at the city park or something, off in the wooded area. Get stuff growing there. Grow. Put a gutter on your fence. Get one of those nylon, those vinyl gutter things, and put it on your fence and
Grow
stuff in it. Grow strawberries. Grow something. Get more food growing. Some of the stuff I'm reading about the chemicals being used in the grocery store where they got the all the vegetables on the not out in the middle but along the wall, and it's always nice and damp, and the lettuces and stuff are all they must have been water, and they got a sprayer and they're spraying chemicals on them.
Yeah, and then it adds weight to it when you're buying your lettuce by the pound.
Yeah. But so they're spraying chemicals on it to preserve the fresh vegetables longer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everyone. See you around.